Good afternoon, my friend. Thank you very much for being here. Welcome to this somewhat impromptu live Q&A and discussion about this year's Momentum Weekend Workshop, which is just over a month away. It's fine, Mangello. Take deep breaths. It will be fine. This is our 8th year of doing this event, and I thought it might be helpful to share a little bit about what momentum is, why I did it, and maybe why it's right for you. We'll talk a little bit about some of the speakers and sessions, and then I'll obviously leave some time for some Q&A. So I'm going to get right into it. Jen Shane, thank you very much for being here. Let me tell you a little bit about what momentum is and why I really started so many years ago. And it really did come out of personal necessity. I've always been a learner. When I started down this journey 20 years ago of turning this thing that I love into the thing that I do, I started going to conferences and learning as much as I could. But, I'm also an introverted extrovert and sometimes got lost in a sea of 2,000 plus people. And I would often go to these conferences, leave with, and I still have it as a reminder, I would leave with my notebook full of ideas. I'd put it down on my desk, and then life would get in the way, and I wouldn't actually execute on everything I was excited about, everything I had learned about. And that was very frustrating to me. So I wanted to create something where you wouldn't just learn, you wouldn't get lost, but you would do the work in the room. That is how and why Momentum was born. It's 9 years ago. We had the COVID year, which obviously didn't happen. Excuse me. Back in 2016, which really started as a one room, one day, 50-person event, and has now grown this year to 4 days. We will obviously talk a little bit more about what momentum looks like, but what really is the event itself. It is a 4-day event for entrepreneurs and business owners, really specifically designed for creators and solopreneurs. You can have a brick and mortar business, you can have a small, medium sized business, and it'll still be applicable to you. But being a creator, being a solopreneur can often be a very lonely existence. I know, speaking from experience, most of my time in my business is spent here at my desk, not despite what Instagram might say otherwise, or the internet. I am not just sort of frolicking around Epcot eating all the time. Most of it happens here, and it's lonely, and it's frustrating, and it's difficult. And I never had people to turn to. My cats are great. They don't give a lot of feedback. My family is super supportive, but they don't understand what it is that we do, the struggles that we have. And I didn't have anybody to say, hey, what do you think of this idea? What do you use to, do A, B, and C? And it's why I created this place where you didn't have to worry about choosing which speaker or which session to go to, having that fear of missing out on something because there's two things you wanted to learn about that were happening all at the same time. So it does still take place in one room. It still is limited to 50 people because I want it to be an intimate setting. I want it to be something where you are not just, and I'm not going to let you sit in the corner and learn. I'm going to make you wonderfully uncomfortable and not just learn from, but work with other people and help you connect to them too. I even design a pre-arrival worksheet and your lanyard and badge to help you find and meet other people who will help you along the way, because I know sometimes it's difficult trying to figure out who is the right person to talk to, who can help me, and then in turn, who you can help. I think everybody has something to teach, and that is going to be part of what Momentum is as well. It's also in Walt Disney World. It's also during the Food and Wine Festival. There is always a method to my madness, but really it is about not just learning, not just sharing, but doing the work in the room. You are not just going to learn from presenters who are relatable. Everybody who is going to be up, and there is no stage, and there is no stage by design, right? Not because I didn't want to pay for a stage, but because I think there is something, even sort of being on a little bit of a stage that has a little bit of a disconnect. It is a small intimate room, so the speakers are able to walk around, so you do have that connection to them, because there is also a workshop element to everything that's happening. So the speakers are going to be there, not that you have to try and hunt down later on and see if you can get your questions answered. That's what happens in the room. Every question is going to get answered. Every problem is hopefully going to get solved, whether it's by the speaker or by the people who are at your table. It is built on inspiration and education and community, and more importantly, impact. I want you to leave in a different place and position than you were when you got there. I think momentum is designed to be, and from people who have attended before and fortunately come back year after year, you leave in a different place. You do move positively forward because you do learn, connect, and you sort of ignite this one little spark to bring a little bit of Disney into it, to help you grow, not just professionally, but personally. Because as creators and solopreneurs, our personal life and our business life are very, very closely intertwined together. So, what's new this year? 4 days. Again, it would start as a 1 day and eventually grew to 2, is now 4. It begins Thursday night, October 16th, really just to help you register, sign in, and a little bit of an introduction. And you're also going to come and introduce yourself, because by doing that, not only are you going to help sort of identify to other people who you are, but why you're there, what you want to learn, who you want to meet, so that you can see somebody go, oh, I need to meet this person because he or she does the same thing that I do. Again, a little bit of wonderfully uncomfortable. And even before you get there, I'm going to send you a pre-arrival worksheet to really not only help you, help me, so that I can make sure I design and help the other speakers design this event so it is not only applicable to you, but impactful, but for you to self-audit too. I want you to get the most out of this weekend, because it is an investment in your life and in your future. In order for you to get the most out of it, you have to know why you're going to be there. What do you want to get out of it? Who do you want to learn? What your challenges are? And once you come in armed with the answers to that worksheet, with a little bit of homework before you get there, I promise you, you're in a better place than just sort of walking in and trying to figure it out. I've also streamlined the entire weekend so that there are fewer sessions. There's longer sessions so that you can spend time doing the work. There's also dedicated workshop time, right? So every speaker is going to have a workshop element to their presentation, I even hate calling them presentations, but to their sort of allotted time. So each presenter is going to have like an hour and a half, which is not just sort of getting up there and speaking, but they're going to present, they're going to teach, and you're going to collaborate and work together in the room. So you immediately execute on that light bulb moment, the ideas that you have, or what it is they're talking about, and having some of those exercises that they've prepared for you, which are going to be in this very heavy, very large momentum workbook. What started out as a very small, not just a place to take notes, but sort of lessons to tie in with what I was talking about that very first year. It has grown to more than 200 pages of lessons, not just for you to do while you're in the room for the different sessions, but more importantly, there are dozens and dozens of things that you can do after you get home to keep your, wait for it, momentum going. Everything from productivity to time management to AI to mindset and anything you can. So it really does sort of continue your momentum experience and continue to help you learn and grow and do some of those things without having to worry about showing up to a live workshop or paying to go to another event. It's here. You also have access to our Facebook community. So you have those relationships that you've made, because we're all in a relationship business. You'll have that ongoing support. You'll have that ongoing community. You'll have those ongoing learning opportunities. I also really try to make momentum platform agnostic, because when you do something that is specific to a platform, and every now and then that we will, but I also don't want somebody to go, well, I'm not on that platform, and then you tune out. So we really try and make things applicable along the widest spectrum. So every session will be applicable to every person in the room, and we're going to go through it. And we're also going to do more workshops this year. There's dedicated workshop sessions that are beyond just what the presenters are doing, and we'll get through that as we go through some of the speakers and sessions. And then there's more networking, more collaboration opportunities, because that is where the magic really happens. So let me quickly go through the speakers and sessions this year, because I'm excited every year, but this year I'm really, really excited. So first is Gwendolyn Rogers. She's the founder, owner, president of the Cake Bake Shop. She's going to talk about whisking dreams into reality. I met Gwendolyn, I guess it was last year, when I went in with my friend Ashley Eckstein to do a live review. It was an amazing experience. I'm not a sweets guy, but I think Gwendolyn might have. But I immediately was so impressed by her and her story, because her story is our story. She has literally walked the walk from having this idea, teaching herself how to bake in her house, and turning it into a business that eventually comes to Walt Disney World. And what I love about what Gwendolyn's going to talk about is the things that are understandable and relatable to us, right? Turning rejection into opportunity. Like Walt, she was rejected a lot of times. Like me in high school, rejected a lot of times. How to get through those obstacles, how to sort of build that self-belief, which sometimes is very difficult, especially when you're starting out or you feel like you're just on the verge of like your idea taking shape, or you're like just on the verge of that. I know because I've been there. Like there was a time that I was like, I know I'm just close. I know I'm close to something. You need somebody else to help you do that. So helping you turn no's into yeses and creating connections and a vision board so you have the confidence, you have the strategies, and more importantly, she's going to help you leave with a clear next step towards success. I promise you, you're going to fall in love with Gwendolyn as much as I do. You come for the cakes, but you're going to stay for Gwendolyn. Next is going to be Imagineer Jason Sorrell. I've known Jason for, God, eons, going way, way back. He's an incredibly smart, incredibly creative individual. Written a lot of books about Disney. And he's going to tell some of those storytelling secrets from the Disney parks that are going to be applicable to who you are and what we do, right? Knowing that you are a creator, a solopreneur, how to use stories to captivate, connect, and create. And he's going to show you how to apply these things to your content and to your brand and your business so that you can craft some of the stories, because we're all storytellers, no matter what it is that we do, to not only capture attention, but deepen connections and build trust, which is critical, and really drive growth using sort of Disney's proven story structure and characters and details and immersion. I'm personally excited just to sit back and just watch Jason. I've seen him present over the years, and he is a fascinating, very smart, very, very funny, by the way, individual. There's also some joker named Lou Mangello, who I'm going to kick things off on Friday, sharing as I do 25 lessons for 2025. Some very simple, quick, bite-sized things that you can learn and apply today so that you can keep your momentum going tomorrow. I am always learning. There's a quote in Cora Amparo, which means I am always learning, hopefully improving every single day. So this is going to be very fast-paced, very practical, packed with sort of real-world insights that I've gained, not just from my past 20-plus years, but even in the past year, right? Because we're in an ever very quickly changing environment. And look, like a top 10, 25 might be more than 25. We'll see. I haven't finished writing it as yet. Jeff C., he is a longtime friend. Again, I am blessed to be surrounded by such incredibly smart, creative, and especially in Jeff's case, who's been so generous with his time over the years. These speakers come on their own because they want to help you, right? They're coming very, very selflessly giving. And Jeff has been part of Momentum, really going back almost to the beginning. And look, AI clearly so very important to what we are all doing. But you don't just need another list of apps, right? You don't just need somebody to tell you, well, here's the apps you should use. Go figure it out. You need workflows to help you sort of figure out how to do the work. So he's going to teach you how to strategically use AI to repurpose your content, to brainstorm new ideas, to create images, create videos. I'm smiling because I've seen this stuff that Jeff does very, very quickly, and it is incredibly impressive. And he's going to do things that, one, make sure that what you create feels like you, right? That it comes from you. And it's about creating those, not shortcuts, but those methodical step-by-step ways to generate outlines and to save time on tasks and to spark some of that creative output. Again, same thing. Paul Gowder, I've known forever. Paul is first of all, he's just an amazing human being. I mean, not that Jeff isn't too. An amazing human being who for like 30 years we talk about community a lot, but he is sort of the poster child for building community. He runs powwows.com, the world's largest Native American site, not just for those who are Native American, but I want to learn more about the culture and the importance of email. All right. And Paul's come in and shared about this a lot and has really moved the needle for people in past years because, and we're going to talk about owned platforms, email addresses are the most valuable thing that you could own. right? It's not about how big your social following is, because that could disappear tomorrow. But once you have those emails, right, once you have people on your list, what do you do with it? And Paul's going to come in and teach about email automation, which can be complicated. It can be overwhelming, but that's what he is here to dispel. With some simple steps, he's going to show you how to create up systems that are going to run in the background, welcome your new subscribers, deliver resources, and keep your audience engaged while you're off living your life, which is why he says while you're riding the monorail. Paul's also a very big Disney fan. So he's going to start like how to start with small automations, right? Not overwhelm you with, here's 50 pages of things you need to do. How it can help you save time and grow your list, and more importantly, build those key relationships with your audience. Top 10 people that I love in this world. That top 10 would be a much longer list. Katie Fox from Ecamm, which is how I'm actually broadcasting this on multiple platforms all at the same time. Look, we live in a video world, and it is the most powerful tool that we have to connect and build trust. It's why I love live video. It's why I've been using Ecamm maybe since Ecamm started, to build community and connect with them. And I think a lot of times people say, well, that's great. I want to do video, but what do I say? How do I do it? So she's going to take you behind the scenes and show you how she and other creators use video to foster those meaningful, authentic connections and grow your brand. And you don't need a huge following. You don't need fancy gear. You don't need hours of editing. And she, again, is going to give you and do the work in the room to give you that cleared roadmap to help you show up confidently on camera, create the content, and then build these repeatable systems. So it's just rinse and repeat, so you can be consistent and create, wait for it, momentum doing video as well. I've been doing this for 20 plus years, and this may come as a shock to you. It's not easy, right? It's not easy. And it has been a very wild, very circuitous journey as well. And I am not alone. Every single person in this room can get up and probably will contribute in some way to this conversation that Lisa Dunner Glasser and I are going to have. We just both happen to be recovering attorneys. But what we do is hard. Like, not we, like all of us. What we do is hard. Sometimes, like, it's really hard. And, like, everybody in this room is going to get it. And sometimes the people around us don't. And resilience, is so important. Like, it's a superpower, like, that I think, if there should be a new Marvel superhero, his superhero power should be, he or she should be resilience, because it's one of the most important skills that you can develop, because learning to recover from setbacks, to adapt to change, which happens a lot, to making not just pivots for the sake of pivoting, but pivots that are smart and still staying focused on what matters most and your why in a very sometimes distracting world, is going to be very important. So we're going to share, again, real world experience, real world lessons from not just how we have continued to sort of reinvent our careers, but give you some of those tools to reframe. And look, I think failure is even the wrong word, but reframe, because you only fail if you quit. Reframe those setbacks as growth and as opportunities to protect your time and energy, and to build some of those habits that will help you keep moving forward. And again, the goal is not just for us to share stories, but help you leave with strategies to handle some of those obstacles, to reduce some of that overwhelm and stress. And again, this ties into the idea that when, momentum is not just about you in the room, it's about you and everybody else, right? And you become fast family, but there is going to be this ongoing support that you're going to get long after momentum is over. All right, I want to go very quickly. Scott Cornelius is going to come in talking about smart business strategies for business owners. Raise your hand, not that I can see you, but raise your hand if this started for you as a hobby, as a side hustle, as this little thing. We often, I think, start these things and then they accidentally turn into a business, and maybe we don't necessarily know. I never took an accounting class in school because they just weren't offered. It has made things very challenging for me sometimes. So Scott's going to talk about the different business. Look, you have to treat this thing, whatever your thing is, as a business from day one. He's going to teach you about the different entity structures, the IRS requirements, accounting method, as well as some of the apps to make keeping tracks of things like expenses and invoices a little easier and convenient. This way, he's also going to be there to help answer your questions, because I think this can be a very complex, a very overwhelming, and sometimes very scary aspect of the business part of running the business. You can design and build and create the most magical thing on the earth, but it takes people to make your dream a reality. I agree. It also takes marketing, Walt. And I don't, again, I don't think most of us took marketing classes as well. So Cassie Tucker is going to come back again. I think this is her third year, fourth year, one of the two. It doesn't matter. She's going to use, again, practical and tactical strategies to help grow and engage your audience. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. People don't have time for it. She's going to share strategies that will help you create content to connect and grow and convert without burnout, and to help you sort of break through the noise and build a real marketing strategy that's going to work for you and your business. It's not about chasing trends. It's about building a strategy that is specifically for you and is strategic and sustainable, and then ultimately successful as well. First of all, Momentum this year is once again sponsored by our friends over at Lulu.com, who, by the way, have also printed the workbook. Lauren is going to come in and talking again. Matt Briel from Lulu was there last year who shared about the importance of taking your idea, taking your expertise, and turning it into a book. Well, Lauren's going to sort of take this in sort of that was sort of a 101. This is kind of a 201 about building trust and credibility with your audience. Look, I think a book is the new business card, and it's almost starting to become a de facto necessity, because it is an instant credibility and authority builder. And it's not as overwhelming as it seems, because this really helps you establish yourself as an expert in your field. It's not the likes, shares, downloads, vanity metrics. Having that physical book, of which I have many, I just don't even know which one to grab first. And it's also a great way to create a new revenue stream as well, because it's going to open some of those doors up. It's going to create growth opportunity. It's going to generate leads. It's going to help you build a community. And she's going to teach you how to create and publish using Lulu.com, which is very, very easy, and how to grow not just your brand, but your income as well. We're going to do a few panels as well. I talked earlier about being platform agnostic and not building your house on rented land. We're going to talk about the importance of not only building a loyal community, of which you are, but through own channels. Because look, social platforms can and do change sometimes overnight. They don't explain to us why. They don't explain to us what these new algorithms look for. But your community shouldn't disappear because of an algorithm update. And I see it. Like, I've been able to watch it for myself and for other people as well. People say, I'm a member of the clubhouse. I turn on notifications. I still don't get notified. It's frustrating for me. It's frustrating for you. Let's figure out how to get around some of those challenges through own channels like email, memberships, and private groups. And the people on the panel are going to share real world examples of how they have moved beyond rented platforms to create some of those sustainable, long-term relationships with their audience that they have control over. This will make a lot more sense, I promise, when we get in there. We're also going to do a monetization blueprint. This is going to be a very hybrid workshop. I'm going to do a little bit of a presentation. We're going to have some other panelists come up and talk, because monetization is not a one-size-fits-all blueprint, right? It's possible for everybody, though, to do it. So I'm going to share some of the things that I have done over the years, how my strategy has shifted and changed even since last year's Momentum. And then we're going to have other people come in, talk about some of the ways they have built not just singular, but multiple revenue streams, whether it's through relatively passive income, through products, affiliate programs, different types of relationships, as well as monetizing yourself. And I think it's going to help you sort of figure out, because there's going to be a workshop aspect to this as well, what's working, some of the mistakes to avoid. I am going to be very transparent in sharing my many, many mistakes and some of the things that you can do to put into practice right away. I think this, and it's going to be positioned strategically on the schedule to really help bring everything that you've learned over the weekend together, and then turn it into a way for you to start designing your own monetization strategy. It's going to be deep, it's going to be actionable, and you're going to leave not just sort of inspired but with ideas, but with a clear roadmap to create new income streams or really sort of ramp up the ones that you already have. I mentioned earlier, we're also going to do just some, standalone workshops as well. We're going to help you sort of create, I think sometimes we are blinded by shiny object syndrome. And all of a sudden, this one idea is now we're spinning all these plates. I am guilty of it, right? But by helping you create a very simple business clarity roadmap, you'll really have this blueprint for yourself to help focus you and then keep you focused. We'll talk about different sort of products, and by products, they could be physical products, they could be digital products, they could be ways for you to sort of help monetize what you do. We're also going to create a 90-day action plan. It's something I've done since the very first Momentum, because you have to be held accountable. And sometimes keeping accountable to ourselves is a little different. We're going to help you sort of create your 30, 60, 90-day action plan, but ways to help keep you accountable as well. And then we're going to spend some time near the end helping you work on exactly what is coming up next. Again, none of this happens without the incredible group of speakers who are volunteering their time, their experience, their expertise to share with you. I am so grateful to every single one of the people who is on this screen, because Momentum does not happen without them. I promise you, not only has every one of them been in your seat, sometimes literally and figuratively, but they are so smart and so intelligent. Sorry, I'm reading some of the comments, including Jeff's. He's like, wait, I was just going to give a lift of apps. Now I have to change everything. I don't want to be distracted by the comments just yet. I promise I will go back. But yes, huge thanks to all of the speakers who you will meet, who you will get to spend time with, because there's also table talk time where you can go, and if you have specific questions, if you want to sort of get around a table and talk about email marketing, if you want to talk about video, if you want to talk about AI, you'll go and just sort of spend some time chatting with not just other attendees, but again, all the speakers are so generous and smart and willing to share not just their knowledge, but help you individually with the questions that you have. That's why Momentum helps to move the needle. But wait, there's more, because that's part of it. It's the table talks. They really are support stations. There's other networking activities we're going to do that I'm not going to tell you about yet. There's going to be time. I am not going to let you leave with a question unanswered. So we're going to have time at the end for Q&A. I'm going to do my campfire conversation where we're going to have some topics where we're just going to sit in front of the non-actual fire campfire and talk about some of the things that are happening in the creator solopreneur world. There's going to be snacks, of course, and there's going to be giveaways as well. But now is the time. Now is the best time for you. So if you have any questions, now is the time that we can go over them, because I want to make sure that I am going to be able to, that I am going to be able to address any questions that, I've got tons of windows open, that you might have. If you put them in the chat, I will go back. Otherwise, please just go ahead and post them in the chat. Again, I see a lot of the speakers who are there. I am so grateful that you're here. Michelle is going to come back. Can't wait for Momentum. Angela can't make it this year. Let's make a time to meet for lunch. I promise next time you come, we will make that happen. Let me see. Lou will be in a tux for his frolicking. I think frolicking might have been a bit of a stretch, and I will not. Momentum is also very casual, by the way. Momentum is a very casual, very laid back type of experience. And we're going to do, again, I didn't even talk about lunch. Like, lunch is going to be provided on Friday and Sunday. This year, we're going to do something different. We're going to give time on Saturday for you to, and it will help sort of make those connections too, but to sort of get out, stretch your legs. Disney Springs, the Hilton Orlando Lake Buena Vista, where this takes place, is right across the street from Disney Springs. I can't bring you that close and not let you go. So we're going to break for lunch. We're going to have an extended lunch break on Saturday. So you can go. And look, if you want to you just need time to decompress by yourself, you can certainly do that. If you want to go as a group, as many of us do every year, go across the street and then over to Disney Springs. You can keep those conversations. You can keep that networking going. You can get a little fresh air, stretch your legs, get your steps in. More importantly, get your carbs in as well too. So it'll be a nice break in the day as well. All right, let me just quickly go through. Lisa says, no failures, just steering the ship. At the time I sold a candle by mistake. Chad, I can't wait to see you as well. Kira says, that's the biggest thing about momentum. Everyone is smart, creative, and clever. They will change your business, but more importantly, they're just wonderful people who will change your life, support you when you need it, and most challenge you to do better when you need it most. I love this. Listen, if Kira doesn't make you cry by the end of momentum, then it's she or we are doing something wrong. Amy Keys, looking forward to seeing you coming back as well. Bo Venture says, it sounds amazing. I'm hoping to be ready to attend in the coming years. Look, and I get that. And if you're not sure if momentum is right for you right now, just send me an email, or we can get on like a Facebook Messenger chat, even if like a 5-10 minute conversation is helpful, because I do try and design it to make it applicable to wherever you are on your journey. Excuse me. Even if you are just starting out, I want this to be applicable for you. So, and if it's not right this year, then we can certainly look to features. Richard, I can't make it, but we'll really miss it. The people I met there are incredible. Richard, listen, I loved meeting you last year. You were there for the additional mastermind day on Monday, which I believe now is sold out. We had one opening. I think it's sold out. We are taking names on the wait list. But I've also been following along on your journey on social too, and seeing how you have implemented so much of what you learned and what we talked about on the Mastermind Day is very, very inspiring. So thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Trisha keeps looking for dates that work out. I don't know that I even have a business I'd like to explore, but it just sounds like a fascinating weekend of interesting people. Trisha, when that time is right for you, you let me know. Again, you can reach out. And again, there's also some things I'm working on for 2026. We will have our Momentum Weekend Retreat coming back again. And I'm not ready to announce and reveal the dates yet, but we will also be doing a Momentum at Sea event sometime in 2026, which will be a little bit different than this. Obviously, a much different environment, but it's really going to be it's a little bit of a hybrid of presentation as well as workshop time, as well as really sort of mastermind time, all surrounded by all of the wonderful things that being on a cruise has in store. So stay tuned. I should have those dates. I'll definitely have those dates available, and we'll probably start selling seats at Momentum. So if you're there, you will get first shot. So I know, listen, I also know that this is live and it's in the middle of the day and it's on a Friday and it's not ideal for everyone. So if on the replay you see this and you have questions, you can post them in the chat. I will, Jeff says, Momentum at Sea, hide the buffet, count me in. I'm with you, brother. I'm all there for the chicken tenders. But if you have any questions about Momentum, you can post them in the comments or just email me, lou@wdwradio.com. Now, I did also promise a few other things as well, because I do want to let you get back onto your Friday. I want to let you get your Friday. Wait, there it is. Come on, Mangello. No. I swear this has never happened to me before. There you go. Again, thank you very much for being here today. Huge thanks to lulu.com for not only printing the incredible 200 plus page Momentum workbook. This thing is getting heavier and heavier every year. But if you are looking to create your own book, need any sort of printing like that, they aren't the quality of the product is exceeded only by the quality of the people who run that company, from customer service. They will help you take your idea and turn it into a book, no matter how much or how little help you need along the way. Again, there are only 7 seats left. I did see somebody say that they just grabbed a seat. There are only 7 seats left, but I did promise to say thank you for you attending today. Right now, I still have the early bird special, even though it's not that early anymore. I want to make Momentum as accessible as I can for as many people as I can. So there's $100 off currently going on, but because you have been here and you've been sharing your time with me today, if you use code thank you 100 as a promo code. When you're done, you'll save an additional $100 off your Momentum ticket. So, and if Momentum is not for you, but if you know somebody who is looking to attend, you are more than welcome to share that with them. I want to just try and help as many people as possible. It is why I built Momentum. It's why I continue to do Momentum. And it's why I continue to just personally get so much out of seeing people on their journey, like continue to improve, and not just improve their business, but improve the happiness and quality of their life. Jeff says there's a ton of value on those workbooks. I have all of them. I reference on my bookshelf. Kira says I love the workbook. It's on my desk all year long. So yeah, thank you again. Again, use code thank you 100. Momentum is Thursday to Sunday, October 16th through the 19th in Walt Disney World. And wait for it. There you go. Again, if you have any questions afterwards, please feel free to let me know. If you know of anybody that you think would benefit Momentum, please share out the video or a link to LouMongello.com/momentum. I am so excited for this year. Huge thanks again, not just to Lulu, but all of the presenters for being so very generous. If you are not sure if Momentum still is right for you, again, I'm happy to help answer any other questions that may come up along the way. And otherwise, I hope to see you in Walt Disney World during Food and Wine next month for Momentum. Thank you for being here.